So like she's tattletaling on us right now.
Yeah.
She would be extra deceitful before she would tattletale.
We don't know what this
I mean,
old lady
that
can
could be
do.
why. That's probably why it's taking so long, because they're getting through that step.
She's making things up.
Yeah. But has she ever experienced ire of the Nan? I don't think so. It's
She freaking pops like a freaking zone of truth.
no,
on freaking
exactly.
Puppet.
It is a zone of truth that is fail proof. Like you can't do that.
I just like the old lady just like on her quarterstaff is like ensnaring strike and slaps her and she's like, fuck, I can't get out. Just smacks her with the cane. Okay, now, honey, you're gonna tell me what the fuck's been happening. That'd be some shit.
No, she well like
And
welcome back.
Alright, how's dinner going? Or lunch, sorry.
Oh,
That's fine. Just talking about things.
yep. Oh well, as we're doing that, I'm kind of kicking Zale underneath the table periodically, like Zale, Zale,
Yeah.
Zale. What are you gonna do?
Yes.
Zale, guess what? I got myself a job. What about you, Zale?
So like tilts his head and like thinking, is it a Ventrian job?
I know. It's like I got myself a job, but I'm also watering plants. What about you?
I mean,
Zarman will just look over at Eliza. I'm sorry.
I mean, I could tinker things. Listen, why we're talking about this? What, woman
Zale.
get like a side job?
Zale, you're supposed to help out Nan. Zale, what are you doing? she kicks with her other foot.
See anything when you in Urot? Tarana cuts in.
So kind of like he was gonna take a sip and he kind of spits it out. Yeah, it was really cool city.
What's happening?
No falling scrolls by us?
No. Celtine's a little serious. No, that was. I mean, it must have happened when we went inside the library. That time frame.
Yeah, cause when we went
Nothing was
there,
happening.
there was a kind of a small
How
festival.
was the library?
Um.
That?
Yeah, it looks like it has been used. Really.
Give me a deception check.
So can't deceive for shit.
He does not get to see for shit. But you know what? I'm gonna try. Nope!
I mean, I don't even know why you bothered rolling.
I mean, I wasn't really deceiving. That was not.
I mean,
Zarn
the problem is it was
looks right
very
away from
much
you.
used.
Looks right away from you and looks right at Zarman and raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. You remember Prince?
Keenly.
You remember his jester friends? They and them, I believe he called them.
Yes.
They were
They were
cleaning
there?
up something when... Yeah, they were there. They were cleaning up a mess when we showed up.
A mess.
That was more of like a battle. So kind of just
Oh,
bubble.
from what we could surmise from their gesturing, there was some occupancy in the library, at least on the lower floors. They managed to... At least 10, I think? She looks over to Eliza and tilts her head like, I'm getting the facts right. Right?
Does Eliza know that that's correct?
I mean, you were
For your
able to
investigation.
see... Yeah, you were able to see that they were just dragging bodies and shit around.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there was at least that people, and we did find a tapestry, Black Phoenix, kind of
So,
over.
yeah.
She would also like put her hand on there, like, no, don't take it out. I don't know if somebody can scry on that. Don't ask questions why I'm that paranoid. But anyways, yes. I don't know if that symbolism means anything to you. And she'll just basically describe the phoenix, what it looked like.
Zelda just said, like, can I see something? Can I see your pen real quick, Connor?
Oh, yeah, sure.
With fucking key mind is gonna recreate the freaking thing and then show it to Hanu. Like, real quick.
Yeah,
Not
actually,
Hanu.
it looks like that.
Tirana.
It's She looks at it, shakes her head. Never seen it. But you're saying that they killed whoever flew this flag in the library.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we got there.
About like an
Has
hour
he
or so?
been doing a service? Perhaps?
I don't know.
How did they even know that you were there?
That's a good question.
I believe
I think I need-
Tech messaged Arthur. Have you seen Arthur around?
Arthur, is on the roof, I believe.
Yeah, well,
I-
Tech sent him a message around the
Oink.
time he was there. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I think it's about time that I go have a conversation with this Mr. Prince. And she stands up from her chair, and the bow that was leaning up against the back of it, she kind of just, puts across her back, and you watch her just walk right out of the house.
Okay.
We look really serious. I think that she meant talking with a bow.
so kind of like gets up a little bit.
Yeah, I try to run out and like try to see if she has invisibility herself away. I just open the door like, where'd she go?
Like,
I could have said we could have made an arrangement of sorts.
yeah,
but...
we could. Fuck.
Has Babette come back down at this point? Like, was this all happening? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's freaking Hunter outside the door looking around where
Rana. Is she gone? Like, she just like booked it out?
Toronto was like walking, just like, determinedly right out towards the door.
Are you guys going to go stop her?
There's like a look in her eye that kind of like makes it very clear that she's not seeing anything other than a target somewhere, and is.
Right, I mean, we should probably.
Babette would know that space.
Yeah, Zella like Hanu go right in front of her. It's like, wait.
Yeah, we're trying. That is if we can catch up to her. That's why, like, we probably would have been like, oh my
I
god.
haste us.
Oh gosh. Oh, no.
I haste us to make sure we get in front of her. It's like, wait.
She
No,
looks at you, stops, crosses her arms, and raises her eyebrow.
Kind of like poke at Hanu. It's like, Hanu, say something.
Why don't we, before we act, why don't we have the host come back? That is very rude to step away, especially Nana's very powerful, and I don't want to face her ire, nor you. Come on, let's
I'm
go.
fairly certain that old lady is going to be asleep for the next couple of hours.
So why don't we take the next couple of hours to figure out what steps to take, instead of blindly
I
going
feel
there by
like
ourselves?
someone
can
as
wait for the-
unpredictable and potentially unhinged as Prince is somebody you don't want to do whatever that look in your eye said you were going to do. Just going to throw it out there.
What do you imagine that I was going to do?
I haven't a
This is
clue. It just
possible.
didn't
No.
seem. It didn't seem like something you'd want to do in the streets, maybe, or particularly
No.
legal.
She pauses and looks you up and down.
What is
I
it?
was
What was that?
the terms and specifics of what his employment of this from the Stars and Sea Society entails and what it does not entail, and the legal ramifications that we will be willing to pursue if he oversteps this again in the future.
Tarana, listen, we can always set up an appointment with him because we have direct contact. So let's just sit down for a second.
And is she lying?
Insight.
25.
You get the feeling that this woman is telling the truth and has written many legal documents in her life.
She's lawyering right now. She's being a lawyer right now.
That was a lawyer going to
Yeah.
war, not a fighter going to war.
Yeah.
That's
That-
exactly the same.
Babette concedes. She like puts her hands up and is like, I was unaware I was in the presence of a legal professional.
So
I
why
was
don't
first mate to a bunch of pirates,
I missed that, sorry.
she was
which pretty much
first mate to a bunch of pirates?
So
Pretty much.
kind of relaxes.
Yeah.
And I think. Okay, tap on her. I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
I
You're
just.
also, Chance, you're cutting in and out right now. So.
my internet's been getting really spotty for like the last little bit.
Okay, but yeah. Alright, just giving you a heads up. But yeah, I would actually just lead Tarana down, like, back to the kitchen though. I was like, listen, he's probably I guess the term is hamming it up all the
She's not
spotlight.
leaving. She's not being led anywhere.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
like-
Tarana, just let us set up an appointment first, okay? It's gonna be easier. Do you even know where his office is?
I do happen to know where his office is. I gained his contact information after you all went down into the dungeon.
Is that how you were able to contact me afterwards?
It is.
Alrighty then.
You see her do this kind of look as she seems to realize something.
That could be how she figured out the line, because he gave her the line.
Oh,
And with
Can I-
that, like her jaw kind of clenches, and she turns, and that's it. You know, sort of grappling.
She's going.
yeah. I mean, so,
He's all like, oh,
so-
that motherfucker eavesdropped on me. It starts going.
Yeah, Del's like kind of like, as you have told me, and I have found out, we do not want to get in the path of a woman's warpath. It's just like puts just like audio out that side. Let's just,
What?
like let's just let her go on the warpath.
Okay,
keep going on.
fine.
Let's get that. Let's get that.
She kind of like turned back and looked towards the house. And last thing you've been told before that was her remarking that Arthur was there and he was on the roof. You kind of like glance up and you can actually like see like Arthur just like leaning over the roof, looking down at all of you, and like it's pretty high up. You can see it inside.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll wave at Arthur. I'll be like, I'll look back to Zale, like, listen, that has never stopped me before, number one. Number two, I guess I should give her a scimitar of apology. But anyways, I'm gonna go talk to Arthur. I don't know if you want to.
How tall is the roof on where he is right now? Like how far?
I mean, it's like 100 feet high. I don't have the thing in front of me at the moment.
Yeah, let's
It's
go
like-
talk to him. So I don't know if he heard everything was going on. Probably. We're talking normally.
Maybe. Yeah,
Just
anyways.
kind of wave at like Arthur and then like inside. Yeah, let's go see how Arthur's doing.
Yeah, well, first, why don't we... Well, I know he doesn't really eat. Anyways, I think we should probably go up there as a group. Fee can probably show us the way up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't think Zarmy wanted to talk to him. So kind of peek in the dining room. Hey, Fee! Do you know how to get to the roof?
You go through the attic.
Alright.
Which Simon would have been at the table talking with you. So, you and Nan haven't been annoyed too much by reporters coming by, right?
No, not annoyed. I did start getting really upset at the fact that I hadn't had time to really get to know you guys very well. And then you hadn't come back, so I was really worried for a moment. But Nan scared off all of the reporters, and she has this way when she says that something's gonna be. And she said that you guys were gonna be okay. Toronto came by and said that she was going to meet you, and I guess since Igor was here the entire time, I knew it was true.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, Igor. And I will go give him a very specific and balanced diet of rations that I gave him, and I'll scritch them all over behind the ears. But also, did Sunira leave it? Like, where is she? Keeping tabs. Especially hearing the news on the radio, I don't know if
She's sitting at the other end of the table, right?
Okay.
She'd been like literally opposite end of the table from Nan. Just eating. She hasn't said anything the entire time, you know. Like, she like when people when they're talking, alright, and eats, like people watches the entire time.
Alright. I'll look at her and narrow my eyes. So how powerful do you think Nan is? I'm pretty sure she's can take down all of us with one simple scolding. Not to talk about her behind her back, I'll kind of lean over to Fee. Like, say.
I have asked and prayed on the same question. Put some butter on a bagel. And nods.
I will nod back.
Stella is making his way upstairs at this moment. He's being quiet though. He does not want to wake up Nan.
It's a separate stairwell heading up to the attic and what goes up to her bedroom and like Fee's bedroom and stuff. And so you kind of like step through this staircase, it spirals up, and it spirals like a corkscrew right through this like 3-story high attic space kind of attached to the side of the building. And you follow it all the way up to the top portion of it, and it enters into like almost like a closet kind of room, crammed filled with just like cleaning stuff. And there's a ladder, and you follow the ladder up, and it exits out into like a sort of outhouse type of things on top of the roof. And when you open it, you can see there's like a little like wrought iron chair and like table and some vines growing across like this canopy. And there's what looks to be a like a telescope, but it's kind of dusty. The lens is broken on it. And there's Arthur, who at this point in time is no longer sitting on the ledge, but is instead sitting in one of the 2 wrought iron chairs around this metal table. And he's smoking a cigar. His like rifle is kind of just leaned up against the table, and like several of the bullets just kind of laying on the top of it, right on top, which has you guys on the headlines, but it's not the headline picture that he's got up. It's the page that's kind of that's about Valente. There's a small article that's on the second page about Valente. Like just bullet on top of it, and his gun leaned up against the table. And you guys walk up. He goes, "Well, you look like you're the same age at least." Well, I mean, you know what I mean. He looks at you. I'm in like pain for a moment. Doing all right then?
Yeah, for the most part. Is he the different age now, or is he back to his usual age?
He's older.
He kept the age of the ghost.
Gotcha.
The beard looks more trimmed now and shaped. Looks really full. Speckled gray inside of it.
So walks up.
Okay. Well, one thing is you never go on a journey without bringing a gift and a souvenir, so she'll take out of her bag some of the famous Ration beer. Present it. I don't know if you're familiar with this brand. I am not. But yeah.
It is the only brand. And I don't mean that like in a praising way. It's actually the only brand. But damn good nonetheless.
Alrighty then. It's been a
Appreciate it.
been a long day. So, yeah, I'll hand it over to him.
Cracks open.
And just stretches out and lays down on the roof. It starts kind of after post-lunch, getting ready for a post-lunch nap in a way. Just chillaxing, sky, cloud watching.
So he'll kind of walk over to the telescope while he's kind of examining it. He'll kind of talk to Arthur. So how was everything after we went in and left?
Well, I found out that I have a sister.
Oh?
Oh, really? You do Anu? You look right past out you on.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard for me to understand right now what he said.
Yeah, you're roboting pretty hard.
No, he said, he looked right past Zale, just saying, "Oh, really, Zale?" And then looked at Hanu, and Hanu perks up and like, "Yeah, that's actually what we were going to approach you with, but..."
Yeah. That's, we're actually gonna talk about that.
You know, the hair and the intensity should have tipped me off, but we just kind of figured this out when we got to Port Valiant. We made a side comment about the ship.
Also watched them in the same room together was kind of very eye-opening.
Guessing Tirana doesn't know.
Well, I don't know what against you. Honestly, I'm kind of struggling with how I'm supposed to say anything about it. But we have bigger things to worry about.
Oh.
I mean, we can find a good way to approach it. Tirana deals with things in a very intense way. There can be a common ground. But even then, I think there's probably a place where we can relax and have this unfold. I will say up front, yeah, I tried to breached the subject about siblings to her, and I almost got smited. So it's still a raw wound that Tirana's still struggling with. But
Yeah,
know
I think
that
timing for that question would probably be best. But what do you mean by bigger stuff you have to worry about? Did something happen when we're gone? Despite the news headline.
Oh. Nothing to worry about. Though, according to the radio, you guys barely escaped rot and getting bombed. So,
Bombs.
I'd say you're all pretty lucky.
Do you know who was bombed by, or the protest to?
Defending Omedo.
that wouldn't make sense, actually.
But why would Omno get Urara involved in the war between Far Albion Trading Company and them?
The Far Albion Trading Company's been financing resistance forces in Jala for years. It's right here. He pushes the bullets off to the side, and it actually covers up the whole article that's about Valente, and there's an article right next to it. And it says that there's been resistance in giving support to troops to Xiaolon allies, and that there were Xiaolon ambassadors in the city to negotiate other ways that the Far Albion Trading Company could take a more direct involvement in this war. And the article is written by a Dirk Winthrop.
How do you spell that? Dirk.
I love that.
D-I-R-K, and then Win, and then T-H-R-O-P.
That... Something doesn't add up, though. I don't know.
Did they have any reports of how the? No, I guess they'd probably look there in person. Oh. Shit.
Okay, you know what? Let's just put this aside for a moment. Gosh, I'm starting to give myself a headache.
Yeah,
Continue on,
let's
Zero.
stop thinking
Sorry.
about.
Hmm.
No, I was on the same mind track. I think for right now we can't do anything until we probably have a closer look. I can't tell from what kind of effect the bomb was, or what kind of bomb was it. Was it be magical or mechanical? If it had anything to do with spires, it probably was a magical bomb. But yeah, I can't discern it unless I was there. So I'm just at the moment gonna not worried about it. We had a long day. Don't want to technically get involved with something even more now. But yeah.
Of
In any
course,
case,
one thing at a time. We're waiting on an airship still. So
yeah. In any case, man, I am definitely now realizing after yesterday, now being at kind of peace, I am stressed the fuck out.
Well, come on, lay down, guys. Let's just stare at the sky. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, hopefully.
And
Why do you say it like that?
While all of this is happening, I would assume that I'm still downstairs with Eliza.
Yep.
And
Babette
you
would
have
kind of,
the incinerator in there also.
yeah. Babette would lean into Eliza. Do you want to see my place?
Yeah. I've been really excited to see it.
I know, it's not just like a cart. I have an actual apartment now.
Oh, fancy.
So yeah, let's go. I'll show you. I have to pick up a few things from there anyway.
Okay.
And so Babette and Eliza would head over to her place, which I can't remember where it is.
It is
We
it's
get
in
lost.
it's actually not too terribly far. It's if you go through like, well, actually you're already in the district you need to be in, and Village de Riviere. It's halfway between it and Santiago, so it's a little bit of a walk. It takes you about half an hour to get there from where you're at. And it's a pretty nice stroll through this part of town. It's very much the kind of inner city cottage villa, you know? And most of the homes here carry that really quaint French cottage vibe. Bits of ivy growing down the sides of them, pastel white walls, and overhead, ever present, the slowly passing floating islands that make up the college of the Arcanum. As you pass underneath one of these floating islands on your way there, you can see that it begins to form a step onto what you know to be known as the Ville. The Ville is pretty much a big flat marble marketplace. All of the little stands here are carved in this very almost Greekish marble style. Just solid stones that have been carved into ornate pillars, and as it makes up mostly a kind of market area, you can see that surrounding it are what appear to be very much like row homes. They're built about 3 stories high, and they're very narrow, and they have these small little steps that you walk up to be able to get to some of them, or you right next to them, or in between these steps, you'll see that steps that go down to another doorway, and they're kind of staggered like this. And you walk between 2 of these row homes, where a very narrow staircase begins to decline. And as it does, you can see that it approaches the cliffside next to the Eastern River. And you approach this guardrail wrapped in ornate vines and honeysuckles, and it's got this overhang on the top of it that has inside of it just baskets of different types of flowers hanging up. And on the other side of the railing in front of you is just a drop off of a cliff that goes down about 60 feet to the river below. And on the other side, you can see sweeping fields of the district of Salero, and past that, the lake itself. And it's this breathtaking view. And You look to the left and the right, and it branches out to a couple of different like nooks for apartment homes, and yours is just down at the end on the right. You kind of look to the left, and you can see an old lady who's always sitting there knitting. She's still sitting there knitting, and she's like, with her gums, and she's got these squinty eyes. You know she's blind, so she doesn't even know you're even there right now. But damn, is that freaking like tightness on her crocheting just fantastic. You have scarves inside that she's made for you, and many other versions of you that she's never identified as being the same person. She can't even see, so it's not even like she would be able to know either way. But she just sitting there, continues knitting away. And you lead Eliza down the right, and the whole sweeping view to your left, and you approach the door, pulling out the key, and you can see that it's already open, just a little bit, slightly ajar.
Babette would immediately hands to the mouth and kind of hand on the sword and look at Eliza.
Eliza is now like looking around
Immediately
around
on alert.
yeah, like anywhere that she can be looking for anything.
Give me an investigation check.
Jesus.
30.
She sees
That is not a old blind lady sitting there. That's an illusion. There's somebody sitting there rocking in that chair, but they're definitely using illusory magic to make themselves look like this old lady.
Okay.
You notice some of the strands of her hair kind of like pass through her cheek, giving this strange, like almost virtual look to her for a moment. And you can recognize when people are disguising themselves with magic very competently.
I whisper to Babs, we need to go. We can come back. We need to go now.
Babette just kind of nods, closes the door, locks it.
Just as you go to close it, a hand puts its fingers right through the door and stops it, a foot jarred in between it. Oh, come now. We were just gonna have a talk. Honest business, like.
Do I
Organs
recognize?
half on the other side that you recognize. And a hook that he's got
Oh,
on the door, holding it up and in his hand.
shit, what was his name? Rachel, cannot remember his name. Cassius?
Caius.
Yeah. Caius, yeah.
And who?
Caius.
Eliza's confused.
I think you would have heard her Babette say Caius when we met that one
In the
ghost.
hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I met a relative of yours not too long ago.
Ain't got no relatives. Ain't got no friends either. Evidently, he turns and lets go of the door and walks into your apartment. A better lock.
Under her
Don't
breath,
mind
she
Bruno.
thunders, fuck you. And then says, Eliza, I'm so sorry to bring you into this. Can you watch my back?
I mean, yeah. What's going on?
You might figure it out as we talk.
That seems unfair. But I'm sure
I might just have to tell you later.
fine.
Yeah, this is a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
I'd rather keep you close, though. And I kind of, like, hand on sword, basically ready to fucking fight. Start walking in.
Eliza's like holding her dagger. She's like, yeah, I got you.
Yes. No mind Bruno. No mean no one no harm. Makes me feel safe. You see his crossbow sitting on your table. The inside of this place is wide and expansive. You step down a step into this room, and it's kind of got like a hexagonal shape with this central seating area. And you can see where it opens up off to the left, where a hall would step into a kind of sitting office lounge area, and then a balcony attached to that, and on the other side of it, your bedroom.
Does the place
In the
look
same
posh?
big central where it very well.
Could you repeat that? You were...
Other than his crossbow sitting on the table, nothing seems any different than the last.
Okay. And what did he say when I walked in?
Don't mind Bruno. And he pointed towards his crossbow,
Oh, okay.
which is sitting on your
Eliza gagged.
Tiny chuckle and then back to serious face. What do you want? I wasn't expecting a visit from you.
It ain't a visit from me that you need to be worried about. I'm not the one who broke in.
Eyes like briefly flicker to the hand.
Yeah. I ain't been doing lockpicking since those days. Very nice though.
Could you repeat that, sorry?
I don't do much lock picking these days. But I can shoot a crossbow pretty nice though.
It seemed to open up new opportunities for you then, I guess. Who are you here for? You're here to give me a message, I assume.
See, that's what that life will do to you. I'm telling you, system. You need to get out. But you still got both of your hands. No, you got it all wrong. I'm not here on nobody's behalf other than my own. I'm coming to toss back a few drinks. Piss on Valente's name. I forgot the race yesterday.
I'm sorry, you were roboting. I couldn't quite catch the last half of that.
Fucking damn it.
it's getting like fast and slow and then extremely choppy.
How about now?
Well, it's okay for right
Seems
now.
to be better.
What was I even saying?
There was
Okay.
the hands chopping off part. It would have been better if you
Oh, yeah.
didn't.
And
Oh.
then it was, I ain't on nobody's behalf but my own. You need to get out. And then it kind of became,
God, no, gosh, it's not even anything close to what I was saying.
oh no, that's what I heard.
Delete that entire conversation. Like, and give me a second to rephrase my brain on that.
Yeah, it sounds like a subtle threat. Like,
You see, that's why you need to get out of the game. The way I did. I used to have both of your hands, though. You've got it all wrong, system. I'm not here on anybody's behalf other than my own. Coming to throw back a few drinks and piss on Valente's name. Got released, right? He looks around. Think this has something to do with that?
You said I got released. You got released, right? Is that what you said?
Oh dear fucking god.
Valente got
So sorry.
released officially. So
to get released.
yeah, so he's wondering if the job that you guys did probably was related, I'm guessing.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
No.
Hmm.
It like cuts
Honestly.
off or he goes quiet. Yeah.
I think it's 11 o'clock. Maybe do we want to do this conversation?
Yeah, we're just gonna have to pick up on this
Yeah.
one next time.
Yeah. Because
Technology
yeah, this
is
seems like it could
kicking me
lead
in the ass
into
anyways, so
yeah. Okay, so let's just delete that whole conversation and start with Babette walking in the door next week.
yes.
I know what you're going for.
And hopefully my fucking internet isn't deleting half the conversation, making it sound like he's threatening you in your house right now.